Hello friends, welcome back to my sessions for Mastering TestNG for Automation. So today we'll be going to discuss in detail about @test annotations. So in this we'll discuss about the priority, enable, disable, timeout and invocation counter. So welcome to this lecture. So we will understand advanced features of @test annotation. We'll learn how to control execution order with priority. We'll enable or disable specific tests and set timeout for the tests. And we will also try to run the sample test multiple times using invocation count. So let's start with this. So very first thing, in the very first case, if I talk about, we'll discuss about the priority. Priority. So here we'll give public void test login and just we can print here step 1 login. And in @test, just a minute, let me mention the @test annotation. g.testng.annotations. Then we'll give here public void test search, and we will print here step 2 search. Fine. Now we'll give here public void test logout. So we'll print here step 3 logout. So by default, TestNG always run the test alphabetically. And if I say priority, so with priority actually we control the order. So if you see here, login, search and logout. So I will do one thing, I will just set the priority. So like this, priority equals 1. And if I say priority equals 2 and priority equals 3. So this is actually super useful in real workflows where sequence matters. So now in my second case, if you run this, you will see first login will run and then search and then logout. Let's see. See, first login, then search, then test logout. Okay. Now in a second case, we'll work with enabled or disabled. So here we will test profile. So we'll give here system.out.println and we'll give here profile test and this will run. So we'll just give here @test enabled equals true. let's return word here. Okay. Now in my second test I will just give enabled equals false. So we'll mention here public void test register, and we can mention here system.out.println. So basically register test, so this will not run. Fine. So in enabled is equal to true, basically test runs normally, and enabled is equal to false, test is skipped. So use case is feature under development of broken test temporarily disabled. And in our third case, if we talk about timeout, so we can mention like this. For example, there is one test case, public void test payment. So we give thread dot sleep. So for example, I gave 1000 here and payment processed within 2 seconds. Fine. So I do one thing, I will just give @test, and here timeout is equal to 2000. So that is basically 2000 milliseconds equals 2 seconds. Fine. So basically what happens here, timeout basically sets the maximum time a test is allowed to run. If the test exceeds that time, TestNG marks it as failed. Fine. For example, API call is taking too long. You can catch the performance issues early. So if I say another test, for example, just I need to test this, for example, slow process. So @test timeout equals 2000, and I just write here public void test slow process. $4,000, and will print here. This line will not print. And will give test fails due to timeout. Fine. Fine. So now in our fourth case, we can do one thing. We can go with the invocation count. Invocation count. Explanation. So invocation count. Now let's see what this will do. So we'll give public void test add to cart, and we'll just print adding item to cart. Fine. So we will give here @test invocation count equals 3. Fine. So this will be going to run 3 times. So invocation count basically denotes how many times to run the same test. So here test add to cart will run 3 times, and it is useful when you want to repeat a test to check its consistency. For example, if you want to run login 10 times to ensure it never fails intermittently. Fine. So just to summarize this, priority basically controls the test execution order. Enable basically ensures turn tests on or off without deleting them. Timeout basically is used for failed tests if they exceed a time limit, and invocation count is basically run the same test multiple times. So these attributes gives us fine-grained control over test execution, which is actually very essential in real-world automation frameworks. So let's run this and see. See, adding item to cart basically ran 3 times. Fine. And one test basically got failed. This basically intentionally got failed because I have just applied the static wait here, that is of 4 seconds or 4000 milliseconds, but the timeout was only 2000 milliseconds. Fine. So it exceeded this time. So this test got failed. So I hope you understood this logic. So just understand @test is actually the heart of the TestNG, and mastering its attributes makes you powerful as an SDET. So with priority, enable, timeout, and invocation count, you can handle real project needs with ease. So I hope you understood this logic and really enjoyed this session. So stay tuned for upcoming videos. Thank you everyone.